The new edition of the Horus Heresy will enter pre-order this week, but what will this new edition exactly look like, and what has Games Workshop shared with us so far on the future of the Age of Darkness? Journals. The new edition of the Horus Heresy will be focusing on a journal-based system similar to the old world, with each faction getting their own journal, but what exactly are these journals to begin with? The journals from the old world are essentially a codex, but without every unit of faction as available. Journals are nice supplements and easy to travel with. Their contents include faction lore/history, a model showcase, expanded rules, and units, including a story with a mission. These journals also feature prominent maps related to their faction. Some might also feature sections on heraldry and insignia, and for me personally, I've been a big fan of them. For the Age of Darkness, these journals will be split focusing on one faction or a part of a specific battle. This is a stark contrast to the previous iteration of the Horus Heresy, where the black books were these massive beautiful tomes of lore. Although containing rules, there was also a set of red books released after 40k 8th edition to act as a set of compendium of sorts. For the previous Horus Heresy edition, units were spread all over the place. Liber books contained the core armies and still do in the new edition, but extra units and options were spread among the expansions focusing on campaigns such as the Martian Civil War, the Exemplary Battle series, the Legacies of the Age of Darkness, and a handful of other free PDFs. This resulted in a scattered list of units and options that was often confusing and hard to wrap your head around. But with this new journal system, this fear is not fully gone. If the new Istvan journal, which will release with the new edition, contains, say, a unique Iron Warriors character, and then later down the line we get an Iron Warrior specific journal, this will still result in players looking around a lot of books. Of course, this is just speculation. If the Istvan journal focuses exclusively on missions and lore, this problem won't exist. In regards to the Libers. Liber Imperium is sadly gone, with us now receiving Liber Auxilia for the Mortal Warriors of the Imperium and a free Talons of the Emperor PDF. Liber Mechanicum still exists, but no longer features all of the Knights, as those will receive their own exclusive Liber known as Liber Quaestores. The Titans might also now be part of the Knight-based book. In regards to other PDFs and armies, we have been shown a roadmap. July will give us a Talents of the Emperor and Legacies of the Age of Darkness PDF, where units like the Castaferum Dreadnought and many more can be found. August will see the Imperialis Militia PDF drop. September follows up with both Demons of the Ruinstorm and Legionis Inductii rules, although this choice has left me scratching my head. Rules for the Inductii are not particularly dense, and I would have preferred seeing them in the Liber Astartes and Liber Hereticus books respectively. October brings also a completely new way to play Space Marines with Black Shields and Shattered Legion army lists. November also brings with it a unique way to fight for the War Master or Emperor with Zone Mortalis rules. This does leave us wondering where or if we ever will see the return of the Knights Errant. While arguably the most obscure faction of the Horus Heresy, Knights Errant consist of some of the setting's most beloved characters such as Garvio Loken, Tylus Rubio, and Nathaniel Garrow. With a Knights Errant army list, certain other characters closely associated with Malkuth the Sigillite could also receive models and rules, but that is just me wishlisting. What will the future hold? With a reveal show next week, we will definitely learn more about what's coming, and maybe even when. Many fans still think the Mark IV kit will also receive an update, and I'm all for it. But I would also like to post a prediction of my own. The reveal show might show us something Custodes related, next to the rather obvious choice of a Mark IV update. In truth, however, I personally hope we get a Sisters of Silence range, as they are not only my favorite piece of lore from the setting, their expanded unit list is very fun and adds a new unique way of playing the game. My final prediction, however, although not supported by anything, is that we might have a small chance of seeing Horus Heresy Christmas battle forces for the first time ever. The potential for these is endless, as they can cover Solar Auxilia, Mechanicum, and Custodes very easily, but with the Space Marines all sorts of thematic battle forces can be made with just a handful of units. Disintegrators and Mark II. The new Age of Darkness box set will focus on three things: Saturnine technology, Mark II armor, and disintegrators. While I will cover Saturnine and everything related to it from a game, narrative, and hobby perspective when the new edition has been released, for now I would like to take a focus on the new Mark II and disintegrator weapons. Mark II armor has been an icon of the Horus Heresy and Great Crusade for years, and this new design is no different. For many, the segmented plates of the old Mark II are a preferred look, but the new set actually finds its origin in some of the first ever Mark II metal Space Marines dating back to the earliest editions of 40k. Rogue Trader and 2nd edition to be more specific. In any case, seeing Mark II return to the tabletops in full force is still welcome, as although they are not my favorite, I'm always excited for seeing more variety in armies, from simple changes in paint job to full-on conversions and different armor marks. For veterans of the Horus Heresy, Volkite weapons are a truly beloved and wacky space laser gun from the future, but while a Volkite is best served cutting down entire squads by sheer number of shots, the same cannot be said for disintegrators. Both in lore and on the tabletop, these two laser guns are related, but also naturally opposed to each other. Disintegrators are closer to an old Earth technology than a Martian one, as seen with the Volkite. This has resulted in an in-universe divide, where some of the Space Marines highly enjoy this new and terrifying weapon, and those of the Mechanicum cannot stand it. Tabletop-wise, disintegrators hit hard and are meant to cut down elite units, and if you're lucky with your shots, can even bring down a dreadnought. During the previous edition, disintegrator weapons were even more powerful, but these versions have been replaced by a wider choice of weapon options, with supposedly the previous edition disintegrator pistol still being the same, but it remains an exclusive weapon for praetors and the like. Separated from the Horus Heresy, it's also fun to point out that the first ever Space Marine miniature, lovingly nicknamed as Leetu, has a combi disintegrator. Seeing these weapons return, as well as some other minis adopting design cues from the first ever Space Marine, is a great way to honor the roughly 40-year-old sculpt. There is no better time to be a fan of the Horus Heresy. The novel series might have ended, but the tabletop game is truly entering a third phase of massive expansion and changes, which have been both good and bad. In the near future, I'll be making videos covering how to best get started in the Horus Heresy, covering rules, list building, but it will also put an emphasis on the narrative soul of the game. For these videos, I will be taking a look at a specific faction and how to best represent them on the tabletop. Although I still have not fully gotten a grasp of the old world, expect to see future content for that as well to go hand in hand with regular 40k coverage and more.